Hello, everyone. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you and your families and your friends. Hope you're out doing something fun. I have some good stocks for you guys this week, and I think this is only about half, if that, of the setups I'm seeing, but I tried to kind of handpick what I think are the really strong ones, the best setups out there, and so we'll just get right into these, and I won't keep it too long of a video here. NTLA's first. NTLA is showing good signs of starting to uptrend again, and it's a very nice uptrend here that we have going, and so it's good to focus on these kind of uptrends when we're looking for bullish setups. Daily chart, it came down towards the 50 moving average. We had one high, and it's okay. We want to see if we go down for a double bottom or not. And this also happens to be on the VWAP when we broke out here, so that's important to me. If we're finding demand off that, that's a good sign that it still wants to keep going up. And then down on the smaller time frame here, we have this really nice kind of buying pattern going on here, but we want to see, I think, a little more. Like, we have a range that I would call right there, somewhere in there. Okay, so we closed right on that. But, really what I'd like to see is like a daily close above, this area here. So about 72.20, 72. You can see that's really where the momentum of the stock changes, and we can actually get big up moves, maybe up here to 85. So ideally it would come up here, range a little bit, and then break out. And just look strong on all time frames when that happens. CRSP. Okay, this is an interesting one because this is it's right at this channel, this uptrend right here that's been forming, since December, and we have a really similar pattern to like we did here or like we did here. It is after a bigger drop, yeah, but it's it always just finds support at the next higher low, and it always makes a higher low, and so it's doing it again here, and I think we just need some confirmation on this, but there's a really clean range. So I think if on any morning I just set some alerts up here, I'd say I'd like to see it have a daily close here. Did it close there? No. So you can see it can never close daily over this level, and see like it gets under it here in the first 30 minutes and just sells. And then that's what we've been testing. So I'd actually move this to like 169.40 or whatever the low of this is. It's 169.39. Get a daily close above that, then we're set, and we're set to go probably pretty high here, I'd say. I think we get a shot at 200 off that. But, I'd manage it along the way. But yeah, it looks great. DKNG. This is one that's kind of been setting up. Sorry, not DKNG. CHWY. I had the wrong thing on the watch list there. CHWY. So yeah, it's had this really nice just wedge, and it's just chilling. And, buyer's totally in control after this pretty long base it had breaking out. And CHWY's, it's a good company, and they're growing really popular. So I love the company, and yeah, this setup kind of confirms what I like, and I think it's a good bullish setup. I think what we want to do is wait for some dips though, maybe. So it's challenging this high right here, this kind of major pivot high. I'd prefer to see it pull back and then, maybe test the 5-day moving average, this VWAP, and then start to range and then go. That would be my preferred way to play that. Or maybe it goes up and makes a new high here and then pulls back in. I'd like to see something like that, but I have to say that if it stays above this 110.34, you can see that's the inflection here. If it can stay above that like here and then break out, it's probably going to go. It'd be a good momentum play. TDOC. Okay, yeah, this is one that I wanted to wait for this daily close over this area. And, not only that, but it's finally closed up there again. I think if you see TDOC if it doesn't just explode right away, and I mean, I would assume this would probably go for a new high, maybe another test at 300, perhaps. I think I'd like to see, you want to make sure on this one that you have an intraday time frame, like a 1 minute, 5 minute, something that's setting up bullish on the day to play this, because it is getting, a little long up here and we're getting towards these highs. So I think you're going to want to make sure that it has that intraday setup for confirmation on that. Snow is really good. Okay, so this is one I tweeted out like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. I said it's getting really wedgy on the daily chart, and I mean you can kind of see here how it was just a wedge here, and then even in here, like, it was getting really tight, right? And so that was super attractive to me with its high short float and the 50-day moving average still trending up. So, you still want to favor buyers when that's happening from a longer term perspective. So, this is one we're in for a longer play. And it's setting up really nice here on the intermediate term. And, I think with the decent short float and then all this, this wedging action right here, you could get shorts that really start getting screwed if you look at all the volume that's done right at this area. And you don't really have much until up here. So maybe you get a squeeze all the way up here. So I have this, this high here at about 324, but then I think we can get up here to 330. And, if we happen to just have so much steam to the upside that we blow through that, I think we come all the way up here to 355-ish. So really good setup there. Loving that one. DDOG, this is more of a daily chart. Yeah, so I think what I was looking at on this is the weekly. Yeah, so we had, I would call it there. So yeah, we had that 107.89 that we never really could close the week over. We closed again above it once here, and we held it. And so you always want to look for those little inflection areas on any chart. And as we come up, we close on it. We hit our head on it on this week. Hit our head on it on this week, and we're just never able to close above it. So I think what you want to look for on DDOG is some sort of pullback setup. You want to maybe try to buy the dip down in this area, 108, maybe slightly lower, let the buyers regain control on say a 5 minute time frame, or a, if you like 15 or 30, wait for them to regain control, preferably after that pullback. Now, if it's a momentum play, this definitely is a momentum type stock, and perhaps that happens, you'll have to play it that way. So there's two ways that can go. NTRA, this is one it's a nice uptrending stock, and it had this pullback, right? And so what I'm liking about it here is that it's getting really tight. See that? I mean, you might see it as like an ascending triangle, but the pattern's not really the biggest thing. If you just look at it as like buyers or sellers, right? You just have buyers stepping up and stepping up. So buyers are just really, really in control of this right now. And yeah, I think if you get a break above this area, I think you get some really nice upside. Call it 120 on the upside, because maybe a little bit higher, but you have this really tight action that's going on here. And whenever you see something like that, I mean, you see it in here a little bit, and eventually it has a nice explosion to the upside. So I don't know if this would take 1 day or 2 days. It might take a few, so keep that one in mind. And then Fiverr, they had great earnings and super strong gap, right? Super strong gap, and it held really well, right? It held really well, and then we have this inside day on Friday, and so that's what I'm really liking about it, is that we had an inside day in the upper portion of that earnings gap, right? And so that's really good. It's saying that buyers are look at how much they stepped up, and then volatility slows down. You can see, right, when it has these kind of candles, it typically goes higher, right? You can see these. I'm not sure if there's any inside day examples. Here's an inside day example, right? Within 2-3 days, it's up again, and that happens a lot. It's a really good setup. So I think we could be looking at Fiverr going to make new highs this week. As always, play your time frame and your strategy and make these your own. If you like this video and you like the setups, leave it a like, and appreciate any comments and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace.